It is a practice test problem on x-intercepts of transformed function. The function f of x has x-intercepts at x equals to 5 and minus 2. Determine x-intercepts on the graph of the function. So we're given you three functions here, and you have to write how these intercepts are going to change on each one of them. So the first one is y equals to 2 times f of minus x. Second is y equals to minus of f of x plus 3. And the third one is y equals to 0.5 f of minus x plus 1. Now I'll explain you one of them, and then you have to apply your knowledge to the others. Well, some of you who have gone through the videos very carefully can definitely stop it here, answer the questions, and then look into my suggestion. Now, one of the approach could be that let's write down our x-intercepts clearly. So we have a function which has x-intercepts at x equals to 5. That means the intercept point here is 5, 0, and the other one is at minus 2, 0. So these are the two x-intercepts. Now when we transform a function, all these points will get changed, they get transformed, and their image on this function is what we are looking for. Now in these cases you should note that there is no vertical translation, and therefore the points remain on the x-axis itself. This is a very important note. So most of the time when I am asking you this kind of a question, I also make sure that I don't really unnecessarily complicate it by putting a y translation. Okay. Now, there are of course stretches and reflections, but that won't affect x-intercepts, right? Now let's look into it. Now the transformation is stretched by a factor of 2, and this is a vertical stretch, and this is reflection in horizontal direction, right? So how will they affect your points? So this 2 will multiply these zeros by 2, so they really don't get affected. And this minus will change this to minus, right? Therefore, our transformed points will be on this function from here to, now you can write down your answer. So that is how you are going to write your answers, right? So this will be minus of this. So minus 5, 0, and that will be transformed to plus 2 and 0. Do you understand? So that is how you can give transformed points. Now this one, so what is the transformation here? Here the x points move 3 units to left. That means minus of 3, right? So here basically x and y coordinate points will change, and there will be a change in 3 units left. That means our point will get transformed so that we have a value x minus 3, but the y value will be negative of, and it is 0 in this case, so it will remain 0, correct? For the x-intercepts, correct? It is for the x-intercepts, it will remain 0. But the x value will change. So if you apply this transformation, you get your answer here. So x is 5 here, 5 minus 3 is 2, so you get 2, 0, and this is minus 2. That becomes minus 5 and 0. Now this one, you need to modify further and write it in a proper way. And that proper way, when I say is, let me write like this, f of, so 0.5, write it in fractions. It's easier to visualize. Minus. Factor out minus. Then you get x minus 1, correct? Now that leads you with the transformation that the point xy will actually get transformed to x values will be negative, and then this is negative. That means moving 1 unit to the right, so we'll add 1, correct? So you have minus of original plus 1, and as far as y point is concerned, it will be half of original y, correct? Now since y is 0 for our intercepts, it will remain as 0, right? So in this case, our transformed points will be minus 5 plus 1 is minus 4, right? We are applying this. So we get minus 5 plus 1, which is minus 4, and y value is 0. And the other point is minus 2. When we do minus of minus 2, we get plus 2. So we get here 3, 0. So that is how the points will get transformed. So try to understand this. I have a variety of questions in this particular problem so that you can solve your test problem without any difficulty, right? And these types of questions come in multiple choice, and at times it is very difficult to get the right choice. All the best.